Hey everyone, behind me is a car that I've been wanting to review since I started this channel. It's a bucket list car of mine. Takes me back to my childhood. When my friend's sister had one, we'd ride all over Oklahoma in this thing. Today, with the gracious owner, Nicholas McElroy, I present to you the 1991 Eagle Premier.
The Eagle Premier marked the first car from the first new domestic car company in almost 30 years. Basing its roots from Renault and designed by Giorgetto Giugiaro at Ital Design, with Dick Teague taking up the interior design and the highly advanced Bramlea assembly plant in Brampton, Ontario, Canada, the Premier truly was Advantage Eagle. Expected to be the most exciting Chrysler brand, Eagle cars were intended to be distinctive, technically advanced vehicles with personal expression. Sadly, this never quite happened, as Eagle basically became a company that carried badge-engineered shared cars, and the company ran from March 19, 1987 to July 4, 1999. While the most identifiable vehicle from Eagle was Mitsubishi Eclipse-based Eagle Talon, the Premier was an incredibly important automobile from this brand. The Eagle Premier was the Chrysler B-body front-wheel drive platform vehicle with novel longitudinal engine layout, being one of the first true cab-forward engineered vehicles to give more usable interior space. Very misunderstood and reflective of poor advertising strategies, the Premier did not sell particularly well, falling extremely short of the contractual 260,000 units over 5 years. The Eagle Premier competed against the likes of Volvo and Audi. Production ran from the 1988 to 1992 model years, with the more rare rebadged Dodge Monaco running from 1990 to 1992. The engineering levels achieved in the Premier are arguably the most refined in a sedan that was then produced by AMC or Chrysler. Today, with the gracious support of its owner, we are taking an in-depth look at this very nice and very well-equipped 1991 Eagle Premier ES Limited. This Premier is painted in sterling silver metallic clear coat and features the charcoal Barton Gibson sport cloth interior. Full with new pricing is shown on screen, and no options were fitted to this fully loaded vehicle. The Eagle Premier led a complicated life, going from Renault AMC ownership to AMC Chrysler, and then Chrysler ownership through its 4-year cycle, remaining basically unchanged with the exception of trim variations and the addition of the limited models from 1990 to 1992, as well as a Dodge Monaco badge engineered variant. All Premiers were front-wheel drive, with the early models having an option of a 4-cylinder engine that was standard or optional V6 engine, which later became the only available power plant in the end. That power plant was a longitudinal mounted overhead valve 3-liter PRV V6 engine, which was of aluminum block and head construction with hemispherical combustion chambers and electronic multi-port fuel injection, and features a 9.3 to 1 compression ratio. This engine created 150 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, 171 pound-feet of torque at 3,750 RPM. While not particularly quick, the Premier was no slouch for its day. It could accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 10.1 seconds, 0 to 100 miles per hour in 29.4 seconds, the quarter mile was in 17.3 seconds at 80 miles per hour, with its top speed limited to around 110 miles per hour. All Premiers were equipped with a 17 US gallon fuel capacity and consumed 5.3 gallons per 100 miles driven, with an estimated 330 mile driving range. EPA fuel economy figures are 16 miles per gallon city, 24 miles per gallon highway, with 19 miles per gallon combined. The sole available transmission on our 1991 ES Limited is a ZF-sourced, electronically controlled 4HP 18FL automatic transmission and features split torque third gear lockup with full fourth gear lockup. Rear suspension setup is independent torsion bar with trailing links and a 22mm stabilizer bar. Around the rear, the Premier was substantially different than the Taurus, in which most people compared the car to. While it was boxier looking than the Taurus, the drag coefficient was much lower. Rear end styling was both basic and yet highly effective, with quite elegant in its simplicity. Taillights are unique to the ES Limited and are simple amber upper and red lower light bars. Style configuration with the incandescent lighting with smoked reverse lamps framing the license plate housing. Our review subject features a trunk lid mounted luggage rack. Along the profile, the Premier looks like the intended competition, Volvo and Audi. It sits on a 106-inch wheelbase with an overall length of 192.8 inches. Steering is hydraulically assisted vehicle speed sensitive variable rate rack and pinion with 3.8 turns lock to lock and a 36-foot turning radius. Wheels are the 15 by 6 inch silver painted 5-spoke sport aluminum alloys shot on 205/60 R15 Douglas Performance all-season tires. Brakes are power-assisted 4-wheel disc brakes with 10.3-inch vented rotors up front and 9.9-inch solid rotors in the rear. The brakes are a dual diagonal setup with rear proportioning valve and are assisted by 4-channel ABS systems. The brakes can halt the Premier from 60 miles per hour to 0 in approximately 135 feet. Front suspension configuration is independent McPherson struts with coil springs and a 26mm stabilizer bar. Up front, the Premier, especially in ES Limited trim, is highly distinctive with its trim-specific grille treatment. Appearing a bit more sporty than the traditional chrome 3-bar grille of the lower trim levels, this grille eventually became the standard across the board for its final year. Headlamps are not sealed beam units typically of the 80s cars, as a 1988 Eagle Premier was one of the first cars featuring Vallejo headlamps with non-parabolic complex surface reflector headlamps and optic lenses. This allowed greater styling freedom as well as the ability to further improve aerodynamics. The Premier was exceptionally aerodynamic with a very low 0.31 coefficient, slightly lower than the 0.32 rating of the then new Ford Taurus. Styling remained relatively unchanged for its 4-year run. To sum up, sadly, the end of the Premier and ultimately the Eagle brand wasn't the fault of the division, but rather Chrysler's inability to promote and advertise the brand properly. Alright, and as we get inside, first of all, no smart key access system here, we just have standard keys. We also at one time had a key fob, but that's probably been lost. Also note the flush mounted door handles, the latch release is actually behind that plate. And opening the door reveals an incredibly crafted, very nicely styled, very roomy interior. Very soft, comfortable seats, unique steering wheel pods, automatic shoulder belts, very 90s. Along the door trim of the car, it's actually very well sculpted, very nicely styled. And you have this really comfortable velour trim that matches the seats and it creates a nice soft touch. Along the door panel, first and foremost, we have these chrome upward lifting release handles, power mirror controls, power lock controls, power window controls, and window lockouts. You also have a nice pliable vinyl armrest, and below in the carpeting area you do have an expandable map pocket, as well as the speakers for the Jensen AccuSound sound system. Driver pods are very unique on this. They're column mounted. They have this really unique turn signal lever that also integrates high beams. You also have your light controls. You have your panel dimmer. You have your wiper washer controls. These pods also tilt with the steering wheel. Down on the driver's footwell, you do have your parking brake with brake release and 2 pedals indicating an automatic only vehicle. Overall, the interior is very, very French. Along the entry sill, you just have this black plastic Chrysler Motors entry sill, and we have our controls here for a 6-way power driver's seat. Fore and aft adjustments as well as up and down adjustments, and then of course you also have your front portion up and down and your rear portion up and down. These all work perfectly, and your manual seat back release. Also on the floor we have our hood release and our fuel door release. And as I say before, we do have a leather wrapped tilt steering wheel, and those pods adjust with the steering wheel. And taking a look at the seats, we have the bucket seats here with the halo see-through head restraints. You can also go with the full width bench seat as well. Leather covering was optional, but the velour is very, very comfortable, very supportive, almost straight out of a Citroen or Renault. Alright, here we are inside the Premier. As you can see, nice, smooth, fluid, easy to use, hydraulically assisted power steering on a very nice 2-spoke leather wrapped steering wheel. The upper and lower portions have these really nice perforated gray leather, a little bit thicker leather on the sides here. Very typical
AMC Eagle era steering wheel here. Got the Eagle logo here, some faux leather stitching. Down here you've got your cruise controls, very simple to use, on and off buttons. Resume, accelerate, and set and coast. And of course pumping the brake pedal will also cancel that. Very unique to this car is these two pods here that tilt with the steering wheel. And over here you have your headlight controls here, so you have your lights off master switch. Here's your parking lamps, and that's your headlamps. Of course you have your panel dim, panel brightness, your wiper washer controls down here. Down here is actually your tilt lever, and over here is your turn the headlights on, but you have your turn signal indicators here. Very strange in the fact that the operation, you press it down, it returns to normal. And to cancel, just press it in the normal. And then of course you have your flash to pass button as well. Alright, taking a look at the instrument panel. Very simple, clear, easy to read instrumentation. The owner does tell me that his gas gauge does have a malfunction in it, but it does operate sometimes. But anyway, over here in this little trio of gauges, you have your oil pressure, fuel gauge, coolant temperature. 100 mile per hour speedometer right in the center, and his vehicle currently shows 81,680 miles on it. And of course you have a 7,000 RPM tach. You have several banks of warning lights here and down here along this strip down here. And then in this upper corner here is your small trip computer, which is pretty neat. We'll show the operation here. And down here is your climate readouts. Climate is actually controlled by the right hand pod on the steering column. So the select button here actually selects your blends, so your max, normal, bi-level, AC. Then you have vent, heat defroster, and of course your front window defroster. You can control your temperature, which the readout is in this screen here. And then over here is your readout for your fan speed. And of course down here is your front and rear defrosters. Alright, taking a look over the top of the dash. As you can see, his car is actually in very, very nice shape. Very clean. Haven't seen a Premier in this nice shape for a very, very, very long time. And taking a look over here, in its own dedicated area, you have a really complex AM/FM cassette player. It is a Dolby system with Dolby noise reduction. You got your power button here, a bunch of small buttons here, power. You've got your preset selectors, your volume controls, AM/FM, all that kind of stuff. And then down here, you have graphic equalizer from 60 all the way to 10K. It's a pretty neat little system there. Down below, you have two air vents. And moving along the center console, it's a nice wide center console. Opening this area here does show the ashtray. And you also have a cigar lighter here. Of course, your transmission selector lever. Two very small cup holders. Nothing here in this area. Nice padded armrest. It opens up, as you can see. He does drive this vehicle, but it does have some nice amount of storage in it. Overall, the interior of the Premier is just as comfortable and nice and luxurious as I remember it being a kid in the 90s. And overhead, we do have a manually dimming mirror, four-way flashers up here, and of course we have our map lights here, sun visors here. You have illuminated vanity mirrors, and of course the sun visors swing out, but they do not slide out on extensions.
Alrighty, let's take a look at the rear seat now. Same flush door mounted handles. And the rear seat is exceptionally roomy, as you can see on screen. It is a 3 across seating area. No split seating or split folding seats, however. The door panels feature the same styling exercise as the front doors, starting with that velour trim, the soft vinyl touch, the upward lifting door pulls, power window switch along that black bezel, soft pliable vinyl door armrest, and that carpeting down below. And inside, our vehicle is actually equipped with the halo head restraints. You've also got these flush-mounted pull or coat hooks, rear lighting, 3-point shoulder belts for the outboard seats, and a lap belt for the center seats, and these halo head restraints. These seats are exceptionally comfortable even back here. You do have a nice fold-down center armrest as well. Unfortunately, there are no rear cup holders or air vents. There's also no seat back storage. Alright, one way you can open the trunk is in the glove box in this trunk release handle here, or button, or you can open it with the key fob. And here we go. Here is the inside look at the very, very spacious trunk of the Eagle Premier. 16.4 cubic feet of storage capacity in a almost flat, boxed out, lined and carpeted trunk area resulted in exceptional luggage carrying capability. It was actually very, very well known and very well advertised in all sales brochures showing the luggage capacity of this car. Alrighty, and that does it. That concludes our in-depth walk-around look at the 1991 Eagle Premier. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please comment down below. Also, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/neighborhoodcarreviews, and of course, our Instagram channel at BrensoJ1. Of course, as always, thank you for watching.